Hi everyone! Welcome sa channel natin. Ako nga pala si Janus ng Pinoy Techdad. Today, pag-uusapan natin ang pinakahalimaw na phone pagdating sa specs ngayong 2023 dahil meron tong 240 watts of fast charging and 1 terabyte of storage sa halagang 36,000 pesos. Yung link po nandiyan sa description box kung saan ko mismo nabili ito sa halagang yon. But anyway, this is the Realme GT Neo 5 and also known as the Realme GT3 sa global version. So yes, ito pong nasa akin is the China ROM version. So malalaman nyo kung pwede nyo ba itong gamitin sa Philippines or hindi right after this quick unboxing.
Cause when I want it, then I want it, yeah, I want it, oh, I want it, let's go. And I won't look back, yeah, I don't care about the bad shit back home. It's Cincinnati, baby, I just wanna let it go. Nothing matters when we're way out here, oh, yeah. Baby, I don't have to know your real name. I'm just addicted to the way you take the pain away. Nothing matters when we're way out here, yeah. Cincinnati, baby, Cincinnati, baby. You said, yeah, Cincinnati, baby, Cincinnati, baby.
Okay, simulan muna natin sa pinaka-importanteng information na dapat nyo malaman. This is a China ROM phone, so that means meron po itong region lock. Does that mean na hindi mo ito magagamit in the Philippines? Not at all. So there are two ways para ma-unlock nyo yung phone na to. The first one is actually, pwede mo itong ipa-unlock sa Realme Service Center dito sa Philippines. So kung merong malapit na service center sa inyo, you can have this unlocked for free. It will take a few days bago nila ibalik sa inyo yung unit. So, yun lang po yung drawback doon kung yun yung choice nyo. Yung pangalawa, pwede nyo tong i-unlock by yourself. You have to purchase an unlock code sa website na ililink ko dyan sa description box. Wala po akong kikitain dyan, but that is the way that I unlocked this phone para wala na akong waiting time. So what I did is ni-request ko sa store mismo yung IMEI na code ng phone na to para ma-request ko na agad yung unlock codes before dumating sa akin yung phone. So pagkadating nito, in-unbox ko and in-unlock ko na agad yung region lock. I can use my SIM card on this. Nakakatawag po ako. Testing. Okay naman? Naririnig? Okay. And nakaka-message sa SMS. Sana nasagot natin yung mga questions or problems pagdating sa region lock. And also, by the way guys, kinausap ko rin yung store and apparently they said na they will offer to unlock your phone as well if you request that. And it's for free daw. So, I'm not so sure about that. So, just ask them or message them. On my part lang kasi sabi ko na wag na nilang i-unbox yung phone mismo kasi ako na bahala para maipakita ko sa viewers na pwedeng ang gawin on their own. Again, yung link po ng store nandiyan sa description box. Anyway, let's move on to the phone itself and pag-usapan natin yung performance nito and kung ano yung mga maasahan nyo dito sa Realme GT Neo 5 or the Realme GT3. Ano ba yung mas okay itawag dito? I guess let's stick with the Realme GT Neo 5 dahil ito nga naman talaga yung model ko, yung GT Neo 5, not the GT3 because that one again is a global version. So simulan muna natin with two things that you can expect from a Realme phone coming straight from China. So number one, yung warranty nito is not recognized locally. At pangalawa, naka-wideband level 3 lang po ito. So that means wala po tayong HD Netflix on this phone. So if those things are important to you, then alam nyo na agad. Hindi ko nasasayangin yung oras nyo para manood pa kayo ng matagal dito sa video and then malaman-laman nyo lang at the end of the video na yun pala yung hindi available dito sa phone na to. Hopefully, na-save ko yung oras nyo. But for those who stuck around and are still very much interested sa phone na to, let's start with the performance. So, meron tong Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Alam nyo na yung kakayahan yan. This is a way better version than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Paulit-ulit ko na po sinasabi yan. But for those who are new to the channel, asahan nyo po na mas maganda yung thermals nito versus the counterpart nito from last year na Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Pero how does this compare to the flagship level na Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 ngayon 2023? Well, siguro yung difference is about 200,000 ang Antutu benchmark points, thereabouts. So kung kailangan mo talaga ng extra performance, which I don't think you need, well, of course, better yung Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. But for most of us na kahit na heavy gaming, sapat na po tong Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. And I say that in a way na para bang mahina yung Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. It's not. It's just that mas malakas lang talaga yung Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 sa mga phones that has it. Huwag nyong iisipin na dahil lang meron ng Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, hindi na makakasabay tong Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. This is still a top tier na chipset ngayong 2023. Goods to pagdating sa performance. And speaking of performance, diretso na tayo agad sa gaming nito. So meron tong GT mode, and the GT mode will definitely heat up your device, pero dito talaga sinasagad ni Realme yung performance ng device na to. Nakita naman natin yan with the Realme GT Neo 3, and I think the Realme GT2 Pro also had that feature. So pag naka GT mode talaga tayo, eto na yung top of the line performance ni Realme, sagad na sagad. Kumbaga naka-boost or overclock na lahat para todo performance talaga pagdating sa gaming. And while I've had this for a week pa lang so far, sobrang okay yung performance sa gaming, but there is one major concern na nakita ko habang naglalaro ng Genshin Impact. Umabot po ng nakakawindang na 48 degrees Celsius yung temperature. At kung naalala nyo, yung 45 degrees Celsius ng ZTE Nubia Z50, na-alarm na ako how much more pa dito na umabot ng 48 degrees Celsius. So, dali-dali kong tinry na gamitan to ng phone cooler, and gumana naman. Medyo bumaba yung temperature niya to around 45 to 46, but it's still too hot for my liking. But I would like to test it some more kasi 1 week pa nga lang sa akin, and that was just a short gameplay, and naka GT mode ako. So I will try using this na naka-balance mode pagdating sa Genshin Impact, and let's see how it performs sa thermals. But overall, sa other games naman, hindi naman ganun kalala yung init ng phone na to. Talagang sa Genshin Impact lang siya na push ng todo. Pagdating naman sa Tower of Fantasy, umabot lang tayo ng about 43 to 44 degrees Celsius. Acceptable pa rin para sa akin yung init na yon pagdating sa ganong klaseng game. And then pagdating sa Call of Duty, wala po kayong mafe-feel na gaanong pag-init ng device. So, very well optimized pagdating sa mga games na yon. But again, Genshin Impact, ito talaga yung salarin pagdating sa mga sagad-sagad na init ng thermals ng mga phones pag naglalaro kayo. And also take note na naka-highest graphical settings tayo and 60 frames per second, which is what we usually do naman talaga pag nagtetest tayo ng Genshin Impact. Sa ganung paraan kasi ng pagtest natin, that means na meron tayong konting leeway just in case na gusto natin babaan yung graphics para mas maganda yung thermals na makuha natin. Guys, tandaan nyo, magkakaroon tayo ng follow-up review para dito dahil itetest pa natin to sa mas maraming games. Isasagad talaga natin yung performance at titingnan rin natin kung ano yung mga optimized na settings pagdating sa games para hindi gaanong uminit tong device na to. But overall, aside from Genshin Impact, pagdating sa thermals and performance, okay lahat ng games na na-test ko. Next up, pag-usapan naman natin yung display nito. Meron tong 6.74-inch na AMOLED display with 144Hz refresh rate, and napaganda po talaga nito. Yung kulay niya, pang flagship level yung datingan. Black is truly black, infinite contrast, and all the jazz pagdating sa isang AMOLED display. And also, meron nitong HDR10+. So, andyan po yung option na manood in HDR quality. So, dun yung malalaman na meron nga itong HDR ang isang device. However, dahil nga binanggit ko na Widevine Level 3 lang to pagdating naman sa Netflix, hindi po available yung HDR or Dolby Vision or HD resolution. So yun po isang downside pagdating sa isang China ROM na galing from Realme. But overall, I'm very satisfied with the display on this. Napaka high quality, at hindi ko pala nabanggit yung resolution nito is much better than a full HD resolution dahil meron tong 1240 by 2770 na screen resolution. That is way better than your typical 1080p resolution. Next up, pag-usapan natin yung camera. So I had really big expectations sa camera nito dahil maganda yung camera nung Realme GT Neo 3 with the Sony IMX 766 na sensor, and this time around they're using the Sony IMX 890. And so far, yung overall quality naman na nakuha natin is really good. Pero hindi ko pa nalalagay side by side with the Realme GT2 Pro or the Realme GT Neo 3. Maybe we'll try to do that. If you want the comparison ng cameras, let me know in the comment section kung gusto nyo ng camera comparisons ng mga devices na yon. But overall, sharp yung images from the main sensor, and then yung colors niya are very vibrant. It really has that Realme vibe. Medyo may sharpening, medyo may color enhancement. So very typical yung image processing nito with other Realme phones. Now, meron din naman tong 8 megapixel na ultra wide, which again is okay, but not really something that you would use all the time dahil hindi pa rin ganun ka-sharp as compared to the main sensor. And then meron tong 2 megapixel na microscope. Now, we've seen the microscope gimmick before with the Realme GT2 Pro, and it was really fun to use at first, but it gets old naman after some time. But of course, it's better than your typical macro lens. Pagdating naman sa selfie camera, meron tayong 16 megapixels na shooter, and it's not really the best. You know naman na this is targeted for gamers. So most gamers don't really care about the selfie camera. So I understand na meron lang tong 16 megapixel na medyo soft yung mga photos, and then yung video naman niya is 1080p 30 FPS na hindi rin ganun ka-okay. Anyway, pagdating naman sa video, meron tayong 4K 60 FPS. And yes, this is the first time na meron tayong 60 FPS na 4K on a GT Neo series na phone. Yung stabilization, very solid para dito sa phone na to. This is something that I appreciate. Lalo na considering na, again, yung target nila is gamers. And again, gamers don't really care about video capabilities ng phones nila, but they still manage to put some stabilization, and yung overall quality ng video niya, it's not what you would expect from a phone of this type. Again, this is a gaming-centric phone, pero binigyan pa rin tayo ni Realme ng good camera qualities. Susunod naman, pag-usapan na natin sa wakas, yung fast charging nito. Meron tong 240 watts na super fast charging. This is the fastest one so far sa isang retail device. So, pagdating sa isang phone, wala na pong mas bibilis pa dito. I know, kakalabas lang ni Xiaomi Redmi ng 210 watts sa Redmi Explorer Edition nila. But, man, this has 240 watts, and this is the fastest charging phone na nasubukan ko so far. So, from 3% to 95% in only 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes, 95% na agad yung phone ko. Hindi ko na pinaabot ng 100%, tinanggal ko na agad. Medyo nag-init lang itong charging brick, umabot ng 52 degrees Celsius. But yung phone mismo, umabot lang ng 42 degrees Celsius yung init. So would I say na safe ba tong 240 watts of fast charging? Of course it is. I mean, hindi naman nila i-retail sa atin kung sasabog itong device. And I guess yung 52 degrees Celsius on a charging brick is still very much acceptable. Mainit lang talaga nung hinawakan ko. And yung battery capacity naman nito is 4,600 milliamp hours. Still a good or decent amount of battery capacity for a phone that charges super fast. Now, meron ding lower variant nito na merong 150 watts of fast charging. That one has 5,000 milliamp hours of battery capacity naman. Now, aside from those features na na-mention ko, meron din po tayong parang ring light effect dito. So, this one is the notification LED sa back panel nitong Realme GT Neo 5. And sobrang astig rin ito. Napakagandang tingnan. Pwedeng magbigay ng notification sa atin if there's an incoming call or a text message or any notifications from your apps that you use, or even when you're playing games. Iilaw rin po itong parang RGB light niya. And this is how you know na talagang targeted siya for gamers. Dahil alam niyo naman, gamers equals lighting or RGB lights. And sobrang astig din ng design na nilagay nila dito. Meron siyang clear na glass back panel dito sa part na to sa camera module, and it shows you the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 na chipset. Well, it's not really the chipset itself, but more of just a logo para lang alam nyo na this is powered by a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Then finally, guys, this is the cheapest 1 terabyte of storage na phone na mabibili nyo in the market so far. Sayang nga lang na UFS 3.1 lang ito. So, mas astig sana kung UFS 4.0, but I guess they're saving that for their flagship devices talaga. Alam nyo naman, pag UFS 4.0, makukuha nyo yung full download speed or full write speed ng device nyo as compared to something that has UFS 2.1 or 3.1. But guys, yung 3.1 mabilis pa rin, solid pa rin talaga yung performance nitong Realme GT Neo 5. So for my initial final thoughts, pwede ba yun? Initial final thoughts. Then anyway, marirecommend ko ba tong phone na to sa inyo after just 1 week of using it? I would say yes. Highly recommended ito kung naghanap kayo ng phone na medyo mas mura sa ibang phones na nag-offer ng super laki na storage, 1 terabyte of storage. Hindi na po kayo mauubusan, talagang install lang kayo ng install ng sobrang daming games or emulators dito. Yes, pwede kayo maglagay ng emulated games dito. Pwede, napakalakas po ng Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Again, hindi ko alam kung paano nyo pupunuin yung 1 terabyte na storage ito at 36,000 pesos. Isa to sa pinakasulit na devices na nahawakan ko. And kung gusto mo yung color purple like I do, grabe, ito na yung pinakamaganda ring itsura na phone. Parang fan ka ng BTS or maybe even an ube lover. Hindi ko alam. But anyway, this is a perfect match of performance and a decent camera and a huge storage plus yung 240 watts na fast charging. It's just insane, guys. Nakakaloko yung speed nito and apparently meron pang gagawin na 300 watts para sa mga Xiaomi devices. Man, intense. Anyway, kung may mga request kayo for the full review, for the long-term review natin na gusto nyo malaman, let me know in the comment section. Comment nyo lang yung mga katanungan nyo, mga gusto nyo makita in the next video about the Realme GT Neo 5. And also, abangan nyo guys, meron pa tayong upcoming reviews ng mga bagong phones, yung Vivo V27e, and then meron pa tayo nito, gagawa natin itong Tecno Phantom X2 Pro, at syempre itong Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. So lahat po yan mapapanood nyo dito sa Pinoy Techdad. So please help me reach 200,000 subscribers this year. Nasa 150,000 na po tayo. Thank you so much lahat ng mga nag-subscribe and also sa mga wonderful comments nyo about sa mga videos natin. And kung gusto mo pang manood ng mga videos ko, andito po may mga ililink po ako. Panigurado, magugustuhan yan. So hanggang sa susunod, ako nga pala ulit si Janus ng Pinoy Techdad. Kita-kita ulit tayo.